I'm Patricia Puritz, the Executive Director of the National Juvenile Defender Center. We play two roles in Models for Change. We're a member of the National Resource Bank, and we facilitate and coordinate the new Juvenile Indigent Defense Action Network. It's really, we think, critical to draw attention to the fact that who are we talking about who is or is not getting lawyers in the juvenile court system. And the young people we see coming into the juvenile court system are largely poor, indigent children of color. And so it's very easy for people to say, well, they can get lawyers elsewhere. It's necessary to draw attention to the fact that the children we work with in the juvenile indigent defense system don't have alternative resources. The only lawyer they have is the one that the court assigns to them. Many people think that juvenile court, you still hear the term kiddie court, that it's a benign place, it's a benevolent place, that we all go to juvenile court to help kids. And while there is some truth to that historically, the Galt case over 40 years ago clearly articulated, very clearly, that juvenile court is an adversarial place. That doesn't mean it's also not special and unique and benevolent, but it is adversarial, and that there are lifelong collateral consequences that flow from a juvenile court adjudication. It is serious. A model juvenile defense system would be one in which all children were afforded early access, I mean even as early as the police station upon arrest, to competent, well-trained, well-resourced counsel. We're not looking for a Cadillac version, but you need to ensure that there is uniformity across the system and that certain kids don't benefit from counsel while others don't, that everybody has fair and equal access to counsel. It's the only way to promote fundamental fairness in the system. There are already numerous models and solutions that Models for Change can point to. In the short existence of 1 year that the Action Network has been in place, we've already seen the passage of new legislation that has flown from the assessments. We've seen the creation of a Juvenile Defender Association in one of our MFC states that is permanently going to become a voice representing the needs of the defenders who work with children. We've seen the creation of a state-based resource center that will provide the backup and training and professional development that's needed to support, again, the defenders on the front line. We've seen the creation of at least 2 statewide positions where there is now a dedicated and intentional focus on juvenile indigent defense issues. These problems aren't hard to solve. What it requires is getting people to the table with the skills and the information they have to become engaged in the problem solving. The first is this concept of resource centers, that they realize that the job to be done is very large. And if they can establish a state-based resource center that is a place that juvenile defenders around the state can turn to for inspiration, for support, for training, for help on a case, for co-counsel, for legislative activity, that would go a long way in moving this work forward. The second area of work is grouped in what we call access to counsel. And the emphasis is on the word access, not on the word counsel. The idea is, when is that lawyer appointed to you? When and how and for how long?